The librarian asked me, she said, what keeps you so busy? First of all, I hope you had a lovely Juneteenth and that you had a lovely Father's Day. I actually wrote a little poem on Father's Day. I thanked all the lovely men in our community who are and aren't fathers. That help the community in regards to things like leadership and things of that nature. I have to post that in my YouTube community since I have a YouTube community. I think I've only made one post in there. Anyway, I have to figure out how to do that. I hope your Father's Day was everything delicious that you wanted it to be. Well, it was a busy weekend. I started off with my father's birthday. We took him out to eat at Mississippi Belle. We went home after and we treated him to presents. And then Juneteenth, I didn't do any events or anything, but I had determined a long time ago no vendor events for me. You'll have to look at that video to see why. And then, yeah, because I don't have time to be sitting outside or in the building all day for one sale on a $20 book. Life has got to be much easier than that. And I've got things I can definitely do with my time. And my hours are precious to me. And that is time I can be spending writing the next book. If you want, you can just find somebody to market it. Or pay someone to market it while you're going somewhere else to work on some more money. Say, for instance, filling out a grant or something. Speaking of grants, my money hit the account today at 9:04 a.m. All right. Now, we have 40 money spells today. Oh, and for Father's Day, we took Papa out to Texas. He wanted to go to Texas Roadhouse. So we went to Texas Roadhouse. And after that, we also went ahead and celebrated with presents and stuff for Father's Day. I talked to a lot of people, this weekend. And they said, I did get some money on Juneteenth, which is good. And then, so that's all I did on Juneteenth. I collected coins. I talked to a lot of people, and they said their family don't have celebrations. We always celebrate. So I don't know, but that's like people don't celebrate their birthdays. They don't celebrate Father's Day, Mother's Day, holidays. I like to party around here. Like to party, like spending it with family, like shaking the groove thing. So, yeah, that was different for me hearing that from other people. I'm grateful. Awesome. Yes, indeed. All right. Hello, Cody Linder, LEANDER-J3H. We're going to do a couple of deep breaths and get started. I said I would print you all up some information, excuse me, for this AM, and it took me a minute. I had a lot of information to print up. So apologies for being late, but I do have that with me. So yes, printed it up as soon as we opened. Today's going to be a fun day. Let's see. We are on, oh, hold on. Since the money came at 9:04 a.m., money in the cosmic vortex. Yes, universal checks. If you haven't joined my skip yet, please do. I will put the referral in my YouTube description and in the comment section. For those of you who are unaware, Skip is a beautiful website to utilize, by the way. And if you are on the Skip platform and you get referrals and you refer somebody else, then depending upon the level they come in at, you can get paid up to like $5,000 per month. Okay, if you are an affiliate marketer. Okay. We have been through quite a bit together. Since I have done 40 money spells and scripture. Thank you for hanging with me and getting all the juice. Ooh, yeah. Let's start, because it's been a busy morning. It's been a busy weekend. Let's just woo-saw a minute, okay? All that busyness, we're going to take a moment for ourselves and exhale it out. Feel the whole body just relax. Listen to your entire nervous system thanking you. Oh, that feels absolutely. All right. We're going to start with the scripture. I'll see who's in the chat. I said we were going to talk about demonology in the scriptures that were covered this weekend with the coven, and then we're going to dive right into spell 16. Welcome to week 3, boo. All right. Day 15, Psalm 115, 14 through 15. Oh, I'm sorry. That's day 15. I'm sorry. 1:12:3. Stocked with wealth and riches. His house will be stocked with wealth and riches, and his love for justice will endure for all time. The Voice. His family will be wealthy and rich. He will be prosperous forever. Good News Translation. Wealth and riches are in his house, and his righteousness endures forever. International Standard Version. Yeah. Sip of water. Okay. Oh, hello, Nova Breeden. Hello, love. Thank you. He says you're gorgeous, girl. And Jesus loves you. Don't ever give up, diva. Thank you, sugar. And Maria Panani, PANAYIOTIU 6799 says hello. Oh, thank you. In regards to the hair, honey, I did a deep conditioning this weekend, and Friday night. Deep conditioning. I also did an apple cider vinegar rinse, apple cider and baking soda. And then I used a clarifying, after I washed it, I used a clarifying conditioner to get the remnants of whatever else may be left. And then I soaked it in coconut oil. So it is just, I said it's time, and so that's what I did this weekend with the hair. And then I just twisted it and put it to the side. All right. So thank you, honey. Awesome. Okay, amen. So we are, the Coven and I, which we meet every day at 7 a.m. until July 1st. Then she switches to 7 p.m. And my schedule is full in the evening, so I'll have to listen to her when I get in at night, or at the regular time I'm normally listening to her in the morning the day after. But what we talked about, just a brief, we're in Testament of Solomon right now. It is delicious. I looked on her page earlier, Reverend Valerie Love's page earlier, to search for the book underneath her bookstore, but I didn't see it. Book is $20, which is fairly reasonable. And that is one I want to own for my own personal shelf. I like to go through magical books and dissect everything. So, just to follow up in regards to what we talked about last week, before we get into some other aspects that we discussed this weekend, we talked about the 7 demons, the 7 sisters, the 7 sister demons, the Pleiades of the unknown world, who appeared before King Solomon in the Testament of Solomon to declare how they frustrate. Since we have already broken down their individual name signs and the specific ways they try to throw people off balance, we can move our focus wherever we want to take it next. So we're going to look at how Solomon binds them, the specific angelic forces or cosmic elements that neutralize them or transition them into the next entities that appear in the text. The text opens with King Solomon at the height of his power, overseeing the construction of the temple in Jerusalem, the conflict between the Orneus, a foreman young servant or artisan who is being targeted by a demon. Every night this spirit steals half the boy's pay and sucks his life forth through his right thumb, causing the boy to wither away. When Solomon notices the boy thinning, he questions him, discovers the demonic oppression, and prays to God for help. In response, the archangel Michael appears and gives Solomon a small magical ring engraved with a seal, the seal of Solomon, which grants the authority to bind and command all the demons of the earth. I said before, I need this ring. We still have some demons running around on earth. Well, the testament is pseudepigraphical, written later under Solomon's name. Chapter 1 is designed to fit right into the margins of the following Old Testament accounts. 1 Kings 5:11, 5:13 through 18, and 1 Kings 6. These chapters detail the massive labor force, the artisans, and the physical building of the first temple. The Testament positions itself as the untold story happening behind the scenes of this master construction project. 1 Kings 4:29 to 34. This scripture establishes Solomon's legendary wisdom, explicitly stating that his understanding exceeded all the wisdom of Egypt and the East, and that he spoke of trees, beasts, creeping things, and fish. The Testament interprets this wisdom over nature as literal command over the spirit world. 2 Chronicles 2 covers Solomon's mobilization of laborers and stonecutters for the temple, providing the exact setting where the character of the oppressed young artisan would belong. All right. So chapter 1 of Testament of Solomon takes the grand administrative history found in 1 Kings and views it through a mystical lens, turning a massive architectural project into a spiritual battleground where the temple is built using the forced labor of the very demons Solomon binds. All right. The baby-stealing demon in Testament of Solomon is Abi-Zuth, also spelled Abi-Zoth. Obizuth and Obyzouth, or Abizol, Abyzou. She is one of the most fierce and chilling entities Solomon encounters, and her entire existence is dedicated to targeting mothers and newborns. Her confession to Solomon, she declares her malicious mission to the king, the target. She does not sleep. Instead, she roams the world looking for women about to give birth. If she can find an opportunity, she, the newborn child, if she is blocked from the baby directly, she retreats quickly but strikes the infant with sicknesses like injury, blindness, or systemic conditions. The motivation, she admits that she has no interest in standard demonic work. Her singular focus is destroying the next generation at the very moment of birth. How she is bound, her weakness. Like all the entities in the text, she cannot be controlled by physical force, but she has a specific spiritual vulnerability. Solomon forces her to reveal the authority that neutralizes her power. She reveals that she is completely powerless and put to flight by the archangel Raphael. Ooh, I love Raphael. Furthermore, she confesses that if a pregnant woman writes her name or the name of the force that defeats her on an amulet or piece of papyrus when she goes into labor, Abizer cannot enter the room and the child will be protected. The historical text, the amulet tradition. What makes Abizuth particularly fascinating to historians is that her character in the Testament of Solomon perfectly matches actual archaeological discoveries. For centuries across the Mediterranean and Middle East, archaeologists have found ancient metal amulets and protective jewelry depicting a female demon being trampled by a horseman identified as Solomon or an angel. I actually think that's in a book I've got. I'll have to look. Picture. I think it's in one of my magic books. Okay. These amulets were worn by pregnant women to ward off this exact spirit, demonstrating how deeply the narrative of the Testament was woven into the practical, protective spiritual practices of the ancient. We laid out the 7 demons, baby. It is deception, lykoros, Lykouros, strife, klothod, Klothod, jealousy, chona, Chona, wrath, anathreth, Anatreth, error, phthon, Phthone, power, tyranny, kydon, Kydone, the worst, akia, Akia, and then, let's see here. Deception creates illusion and misleads the mind. Her primary aim is to distort the truth, causing people to fall in error, false belief, and spiritual blindness. Strife is the instigator of conflict. She thrives on breaking apart unity, turning friends into enemies, sowing discord with families, and fueling bitter arguments. Jealousy. The third sister commands envy and malice. She influences people to resent the success of others, cultivating internal rot and driving individuals to sabotage those around them. Wrath. The fourth sister rules over sudden blinding anger. She incites intense rage, violence, and emotional outbursts, causing people to lose all self-control and act destructively. Error. The fifth sister leads people into bad judgments and continuous mistakes. She clouds rational thought, ensuring that individuals repeatedly undoing. Power and tyranny. The sixth sister drives the desire for ruthless control and dominance. She feels arrogance, the oppression of the weak, and the others. The worst. The seventh sister is the most malicious of the group. She acts as a coordinator of systemic collapse, bringing cold-hearted cruelty, despair, and deep spiritual ruin. I believe that is the one that told Solomon to his brother. All right. Solomon subdues the 7 stars of the underworld and chains them together and forces them to dig the foundations of the temple, turning their chaotic energy into structural labor. Now we're going to talk about 61 through 72. That's where we left off, or what I had just learned about on Friday, now that we have refreshed. Shifts the narrative from King Solomon's direct structural binding of the first few spirits to his deeper investigation into the specific celestial or cosmic forces, and I am all for the stars. Okay, and cosmic forces that rule over these entities, leading up to the arrival of supreme demonic authority. The confrontation with Onoskilis, verses 61 to 65. Following his initial triumph over the fire demon Ornias, Solomon encounters Onoskilis, a female demon who appears with a beautiful form, but possesses the lower legs and hooves of a mule. The interrogation. Solomon questions her origin and her cosmic alignments in the specific blocks of text. She reveals she operates under the star of the full moon. I love full moons. Okay. Because the moon traveling over the night sky gives her the greatest reach over human minds. Brutal reminder, I hope you did your homework this weekend, because it was the homework assignment that I left for Friday involved the moon and magic mirror. If you did your homework assignment, I want to know, how did it go for you? All right. The frustration. When Solomon demands to know which spiritual force neutralizes her, she points to the divine authority reigning through Solomon himself. The labor. Solomon seals her with his ring and condemns her to spin hemp into thick ropes used for lifting heavy materials in the construction of the temple. Verses 67 to 72. Realizing he needs to strike at the root of the spiritual hierarchy to secure the temple site, Solomon gives Ornias the ring and commands him to bring forward the ultimate leader of the adversarial spirits, Beelzebub. Ornias takes the signet ring to him, declaring that Solomon demands his presence. Enraged, he emits a violent, towering flame of fire in defiance. However, the binding power of the seal forces him to yield. He is brought directly to the vestibule of Solomon's palace, trembling and stripped of his absolute autonomy. Standing before the throne, Beelzebub is forced to give glory to the Creator. He then boasts of his cosmic origins, explaining how he was once the highest angel in the heavenly realms and now orchestrates the binding of souls on earth. So, he's gone from dealing with the localized specific spirits, like those afflicting individual workers, to commanding the entire structural hierarchy of the underworld. Moving into the next Testament of Solomon, section 72 through 108, King Solomon leverages his command over the newly prince-bound of demons, Beelzebub, to map out the deeper operations of the infernal hierarchy. The specific blocks of text is highly diagnostic. It exposes high-level corruption manifests globally and brings forth specialized elemental spirits to execute manual labor on the temple. Here is the exact progression of what occurs in this section. The interrogation of Beelzebub, verses 72 to 82. Solomon does not let Beelzebub remain a passive captive. He forces the prince of demons to lay bare his entire structural mythology by undermining humanity. Destroying kings and rulers. Beelzebub explains that his primary strategy is to target leaders, inciting envy, sudden wrath, and a desire for war, which ultimately cascades into systemic destruction for entire kingdoms. Is it starting to sound familiar, played out in 2026 yet? Instigating spiritual hierarchy. He confesses to leading holy or faithful individuals into error, tempting them into promiscuous sin. Lawlessness and turning away from their spiritual foundations to worship false entities. His direct antidote: when Solomon forces him to reveal what neutralizes his supreme authority, Beelzebub admits he is restricted and put to flight by the holy name of God, fast in the specific spiritual authority of Emmanuel, the chosen Messiah. The labor. As punishment and a demonstration of complete subjugation, Solomon forces Beelzebub to manually saw up blocks of solid Theban marble into uniform building sheets for the temple walls. The summit, by the way, we don't believe in sin around here, okay? All right, just so you know, that is a man-made concept. Okay, the summoning of Lix Tetrax. When Beelzebul is bound to his labor, Solomon demands that he summon his subordinate spirits. The first major entity brought forward is Lix Tetrax, Lixtetrax, also associated with the wind dust demonology of the text. His manifestation, he appears as a shifting, unstable force, often associated with hot, toxic winds, dust storms, and earthquakes. His operation, Lix Tetrax, explains that he causes sudden division, spreads fevers, burns down crops, and creates chaos by destabilizing natural environments. His vulnerability, he reveals he is bound and nullified by the authority of Archangel Aziel. If you don't know some of these names, I recommend the book of Enoch 1, 2, and 3. Fascinating read. Okay. Or specialized angelic forces governing the elements. Solomon seals him and orders him to carry heavy timber and stones up to the Temple Mountain. The arrival of Tifras, verses 95 through 108. Directly following Lix Tetrax. Who picks these names? Tifras is dragged before the throne. Tifras is fundamentally an elemental entity of ash, soot, and creeping darkness. His operation. He confesses to blowing hot ash and smoke into houses, causing structural fires, bringing darkness over human sight, and creeping up on people in caves, ravines, and precipitates to inflict localized afflictions or respiratory choking. Oh, my. Be careful with your altar work. Make sure you are using a fireproof cauldron, okay, or something fireproof. And we never leave the fire unattended at the altar. His structural utility. After revealing the specific heavenly names that counter his presence, Solomon binds Tifras, rendering his chaotic airborne nature dense and manageable, and forces him to lift the massive foundational stones that the human laborers cannot move alone. The operational theme. This specific block applies defensive posture to an offensive structural campaign. By forcing Beelzebul to saw the stone, Lix Tetrax to haul the wood, and Tifras to lift the heaven masonry, the narrative underscores the central theme of the text. The very forces meant to tear down human creation are bound by divine order to construct its highest sanctuary. In the next chapter, the 36 spirits who call themselves the world rulers of darkness. These 36 entities are the deacons, a concept taken directly from ancient Egypt and Hellenistic astrology, where the 360-degree zodiac wheel is divided into 36 segments of 10 degrees each. In the text, these cosmic segments are personified as localized demons of somatic bodily affliction, mental torment, and domestic chaos. When they appear before Solomon, they possess surreal, monstrous forms, showing up with heads like formless dogs, bulls, dragons, birds, or sphinxes. They claim that Solomon has no right to torture them, but by the power of his ring, they are forced to state their names, the exact illnesses they inflict, and the angelic names of formulas that dispel them. Solomon doesn't just catalog these 36 elemental rulers for medical or mystical knowledge. True to the overarching operational theme of the text, he breaks their resistance, binds them through prayer, and forces them to fetch water and transport resources up to the Mount Moriah, utilizing their immense cosmic energy to finish the physical construction of the temple. Ooh, delicious. Of course we are. We're going to name all the demons. Let's go. By the way, brief reminder, why Spirit's telling me. How to use the scripture book is in day 2, and how to use the 40 Money Spells book is on day 1. Okay? All right. The 36 deacon demons and their antidotes. First, Ruachs causing splitting headaches. Michael imprisoned Ruachs. Barsophil causes migraines and side head pains. Gabriel imprisons him. Arteosil broadly damages eyes and vision. Uriel imprisons him. Orapel causes sore throats and heavy mucus. Raphael is the antidote. Carboxide non-Dalin instigate ear blockage and earaches. Uriel again, or Oriel, imprisons him. I'm gonna leave these on my Substack with the spellings of the names, okay? And on my Skip blog post. All right. Spindonel, Sabriel, which spindonel causes tumors, localized growth, and muscle spasms. Sabriel is the antidote. Spandor weakens physical strength, causing lethargy. Ariel is the antidote. Bell prevents heart thoughts and spiritual intentions. Cariel is the antidote. Cortial causes acute bowel colic and lower stomach pains. Laoth is the antidote. Methathiox causes severe kidney and lower back pains. Adonel is the antidote. Cantanicotel sparks domestic fighting, strife, and unhappiness. Write names of angels on 7 laurel leaves. Angel 8th Leo Sabaoth. Sathoril, clouding of the intellect causing mental confusion. Leo Lao imprisons Sathoril. Probothel strikes people with irrational phobias and night terrors. Adonai is the antidote. Lero instigate high fevers and systemic chills. Anath is the antidote. Soex induces intense and yielding joint and bone pain. Loa Sabaoth is the antidote. Catrax brings localized fatal inflammatory fevers. Rub pulverized coriander on the lips. I adjure you by Zeus, retreat is the antidote. Liropa causes unexpected physical collapse or fainting. La Sabaoth is the antidote. Bull de Mech breaks marital bonds, driving couples to separation. Michael is the antidote. Noah causes high inflammation and physical weakness. Oriel is the antidote, or Uriel. Mardo spreads localized fevers and respiratory trouble. Loa Sabaoth is the antidote. Rinx Aloth causes heavy croup and breathing issues in infants. Carry the written words Rarideris on an amulet. Rinx Adon Meos inflicts sharp localized chest and health pains. Carry this word, Rioth, as the antidote. Rinx Methado afflicts the bladder and urinary systems. Write down the names. Laoth Uriel for protection. Rinx Atonkmi causes rib cage, neuralgias, and acute side pains. Write Marmaroth of mist on wood from a grounded ship. Rinx Anitrith causes internal bowel distress and acute cramping. Speak the words Ara Ra Ara Ra. Rinx Anathar alters heart, warps minds, and steals focus. Loa Sabaoth is the antidote. Rinx Samiet brings heavy localized swelling and fluid retention. Oriel or Uriel is the antidote. Rinx Archie inflicts severe tooth and jaw pain. Sabaoth is the antidote. Rinks phosphate causes optical distortions or blurring of sight. Michael is the antidote. Rinks Vesicoreth causes long-term wasting, chronic illness. Massage body with salted olive oil while stating, Seraphim, help me. I'm thinking of The Real God Is Not in the Bible when I read that. That is an awesome book. You ought to look into it. Rinks Alarith causes sudden choking, traditionally on fish bones. Place a fish bone gently into the breast pocket or clothing of the afflicted. Ring Ichthyoron tears or detaches tendons and causes muscle strain. Speak the words 89 Malthi as the antidote. Rinks Achonioth inflicts severe throat conditions and tonsillitis. Write Lee Gorgos on ivy leaves and heat them in a pail. Some more magic. Rinks Othoth instigates bitter jealousy and fights between lovers. Write down the letters alpha and beta. Interesting. Rinks Thithneoth cast the physical expression of the evil eye. Repelled by wearing the protective, much suffering eye amulet. I used to keep those on my altar. Rinks me anith, rotting of flesh, holding deep grudges, property damage. Write Melto Ardad, a nath across the entrance. Okay. I would put that on the mailbox, the same places where you should have your prosperity tassel hanging, your red prosperity tassel. Let me see here. Okay, so we have covered what has been discussed. Oh, and today we talked about we talked about the Queen of Sheba being a witch. It was delicious. Anyway, of course she's a witch. Yeah, absolutely. Queen of Sheba. Okay. We covered everything. When reading Genesis through 1 Kings alongside texts like Adam and Eve and Enoch, a consistent structural pattern emerges. Rather than a purely spiritual chronicle, the literature frequently mirrors an imperial or colonizer worldview. Knowledge as extraction and domination. Solomon's primary methodology is interrogation. He demands true names, exact geographical origins, and specific operational vulnerabilities. In ancient mechanics, to catalog a being is to own it. This functions exactly like an imperial census or bureaucratic classification system designed to control a population. Other things that we have discussed previously: forced labor and resource extraction, the architect of centralized power, the spiritual verdict, the tension between empire and love. If God is love, the domination narrative fails. A line-by-line reading reveals a profound friction between the political agendas ebbed within the text and the true nature of the divine. The textual construct, conquest, subjugation, ideology, and warfare versus the spiritual truth, God is love. If God is love, then it can't be the conquest, subjugation, ideology, and warfare. The conclusion that, institutional religious literature and actual divine reality. Most of the sequential biblical narrative relies heavily on chosen people ideology, divine sanctions for total welfare, patriarchal control, and top-down enforcement. These are the exact ideological tools later historical empires utilized to justify global colonization. The absolute measure of love. If the baseline premise is that God or the Creator is love, then any narrative rooted in genocide, forced subjugation, extraction, and collective punishment becomes fundamentally invalid as a reflection of the divine character. The text reveals the cultural limits, political ambitions, and psychological anxieties of ancient writers, not the nature of a loving Creator. All right. Let's get into the next spell. Just wanted to brief y'all on that. I'm going to go ahead and staple that into my book here in a minute. All right. I can't wait to share with you how this spell worked. All right. Spell 16. New wallet blessing, baby. This one took me on a journey. I got a little faith book I've been writing in over here. I'm not even going to put this in the faith book. I'm going to put this directly where it says Grimoire Notes. Okay? And if I'm taking notes, you got it. Absolutely. Notes on this spell. This spell can also be used for online wallets, app wallets. All right. Step 1. Acquire a brand new wallet. Oh my gosh. Oh! You have no idea what this is going to do for you. Buy the most expensive wallet you can, even if it doesn't cost much. Make sure the wallet feels and looks expensive to you. Before use, clearly complete the energy of the wallet. Oh my gosh. Before use, by putting it on your altar, or in the light of the full moon overnight, or any holy place you choose, leave the wallet there until you feel or sense it is clear. If the wallet is on an open device such as a PayPal or a crypto wallet, open the app and put the device in a safe and high vibration space overnight. Set a prayerful intention. In your sacred space, light a gold or green candle. Meditate for 20 minutes. Oh, baby. Meditate for 20 minutes with the new cleared wallet in between both your hands. Fire up the heart energy by focusing on love in the heart area. Then say, heart energy. A few things is going on here at the same time. Candle. Chakra. By focusing on love in the heart area, then say, I adorn you to only hold wealth for me. I adorn you to only attract wealth to me. I adorn you to serve as a helper to hold manifestation of wealth, riches, and abundance that fill you. I command thee to work for me. I bless thee to bring many miracles to me. So mote it be. There's a few things going on here, but I didn't know it when I read it the first time because I was not educated at the level that I am now currently in regards to working with spirits. So, gold or green? Gold, red, orange, yellow. Sacral. You're working with a few different chakras here. And you're also doing candle magic. The gold for your womb area or pelvic area. And the green for your chest area. And the heart energy is your throat area. No, the heart energy is the chest area. That represents the green. So the gold is your pelvic area and the green is your chest area for your chakras. Which encases the heart. The fight. The Jibora on the tree of life, Seraphet. Along with the candle magic. We talked about stones on day 5, I believe. So if you need some stones that are color coordinated to go with the chakras, I would review that video for aligning stones to help in regards to support. Let me talk about my experience with New Wallet Blessing. And I did not know how this was going to play out when it played out. I said, oh, she want me to go get a new wallet. I'm going to go get a new wallet. Let me clear it out. Let me empty out all the receipts out of the current one I got. Let me go get a new one. So I was living on the west side of India at the time, and I don't think the mall is even open over there now, but it's a little African shop I like to go buy African attire at. And it's maybe like 5-6 years ago. And so they had these cute purses in here, and this purse looked like an African purse. I think that purse ran me about $65 back then. And when it tore, because I took it everywhere, I loved it. It was burgundy and beige. When it tore, I made sure to take it to the alteration shop to have the zipper fixed. So that's what happened. I'm going to tell you how things played out. I seldom buy purses anymore because I make them. I make bags. So, just an example, I've got lots of bags. I got lots of bags on, I've got bags on Hoseby Winning on my Amazon page. I have bags that say, I have a whole sexy bitch and voluptuous vixen bag line on my Teespring. I mean, those are just absolutely scrumptious. Got those on my Teespring along with money bags and much more material that you can order via merch on demand. I got bags on my Redbubble page. Delicious bags. Absolutely scrumptious in regards to their design. Absolutely. So I went from buying bags to creating bags. That's how that worked. I sent bags to New York to two of my friends and affiliates who are in my International Poetry Horror group. One of the other bags is called Genius. Durable bags. So that's how that played out. But then once I did that, I said, oh, well, if I can do that with bags, I can certainly do that with books. Made sense to me. I'm over here creating bags and book bags and carrying them with me wherever I go. Books, that is, in bags. Then it makes sense that for books that I want to reflect on later in life, that I want as an examples of what I want to do, that I start to put those on my altar as well. I've got Ferrari books on my altar, books about Prince on my altar. Hold on. One of my favorite books and videos. All right. This is my favorite book on my altar. Okay? I am a huge Vanessa fan. This is probably the most expensive book I have ever bought. Oh, that's a Hustler. Okay, that's not the one we're going for. Here we go. All right. Okay. So yeah, I just was like, I can do that with wallets. Let me go do that with some books too. So there are lots of delicious books on my altar. Speaking of books, I've got a book arriving today. I can't wait to share it with you all tomorrow. My gosh. Oh, another one of my favorites is Anna Fox, but she don't have an $1,800 book out yet. Okay? All right, let's put the book back. And I hope one day to live a life so delicious that I can charge $1,800 or more for a single book. Okay? By the way, I did get dressed, do my makeup yesterday for OnlyFans. I brought the wrong outfit. I brought the Christmas outfit and wore that one, which is not really the one, but I was in a rush trying to get things ready because it was Father's Day. So the other one, I will have to decorate my face again and prepare for it when I have more time this weekend. When it's not as many celebrations going on. Although, we are going to treat Papa as part of his birthday and Father's Day gift this weekend to the theater, which I have not been to in a moment, but I'm glad that we're going, okay? All right, so that is New Wallet Blessing and how it works, or at least that's how it worked for me. I don't know what it's going to do for you, but that's how it worked for me. Now, ooh wee, oh baby, tomorrow's just it's gonna be so juicy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I'm super excited. I did something this morning, and I'll share it with. Oh, by the way, for Cosmic Orgasms, I did resubmit that to Amazon. I don't think they like the title. I don't know why they wouldn't like the title. So I did some double checking. But you know, if they don't like the title, I am a master of words. I've already thought of several more juicy titles, and I have wrote them down. Speaking of stars, since we're talking about them, I'm in the part now of this book of the writing of the stars. And Michael and the Dragon. They said it was a horse. It's Michael and the Dragon. I knew I had seen something this weekend. So, if you are a magician and you have not read this book, I'm reading it now, and it's a deep dive. This would actually be something I would want to teach on. And it's going to take me several readings for the entire book for it to kind of settle in my spirit. But when it got to the tarot cards, in the writing of the stars, because I wish to read the sky, they talked about moon magic, which was your homework assignment, is what I read about this weekend. He lays down in here the special characters for all the days of the moon, marked by the 22 keys of the tarot. Actually, he said 22 keys, but I know there's 23 keys. So, he had not gone as far, Ephelius Levy, to know how like voodoo association with the regular 22 cards. And then he had the signs of the 7 planets with them. So I started writing. He starts with one, the magician. So I started writing all the voodoo architects that matched the tarot cards. And then when we got to the world, he put the full last in tarot. He put it as 29. When we got to the world, he started naming the influences of Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Diana, or of Hecate. Those would be wild cards. The 7 planets I would associate with the keys. Lacroix, Symmetry, and Samadhi, and Mon Brigitte for the 7 planets. Before he starts back at the full, which is Kether. And then 21, the world, being Malkuth. So I started writing those down to align them in the book. And then for the passages in between, I'll read one. The Magician or Magus, which is Dr. John the drummer in voodoo. The first day of the moon is that of the creation of the moon itself. The day is consecrated to initiatives of the spirit and should be favorable for good innovations. And then from the second one to second tarot card to 21, he talks about religious imagery from the Bible and how it coordinates before introducing us to onomancy, divination of the name, and gematria, numbers for creation. Okay, this has been so delicious. All right, so this AM, which is what I was going to say, and then I'm going to wrap things up for today. I got an email about we have some sky work coming up for June and July with some dates of manifestation, including 7/7. So I will have some information from you for tomorrow in regards to those details. June and July are going to be some majestic, magical, motivational, high momentum manifestation months. Look forward to giving you those dates of sweetness. All right, my love tubers. Woo, woo. Awesome. I'm going to go prepare the article for today on my Substack and my Skip blog. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. Yes. I'm going to state those in a minute. And that, again, I want to hear what you did over the weekend. If you care to share, I appreciate you. And then we will talk again tomorrow. It's a date. Mwah.